Welcome, everybody. Just want to make sure everything is good. Make sure that you guys can hear me because sometimes when I am recording on StreamYard, sometimes there are some technical difficulties. So, so I just want to make sure that everything is good. So I'm just going to play this back for a few seconds and then we're going to get started. Of course, there's a little bit of a delay, so I'm going to be babbling on for a minute just so that I can hear when this is done. So yeah, it's going to be good. So just going to wait a couple minutes for people to pop on in. I know this was like a last minute thing because I didn't plan very well for this video. So that's kind of why we are in the situation that we are in with last minute planning. So I'm just going to give a few minutes for people to come on in. We'll start in about 20 seconds. Okay. Welcome, everybody. Okay, good. You guys can hear me. That's good to know. All right, so I'm just going to get something ready here, and then we're going to get started. I'm thinking maybe no, I think it needs to be brighter. Let me see. Yeah, that's good. I don't want it too bright. All right, well, let's get started. I'm just going to quickly add to my screen here. All right. Okay, so welcome everybody. We are going to get started now. I'm not going to delay much longer because I know that when we delay things, people lose interest really, really quickly. So we are going to get started. Welcome to Faith and Home Diaries. This is Veronica, and we are going to talk about my sales. So basically, to get started, I've been inspired by a lot of people on YouTube, other Poshmark resellers do their videos of like what they make each week or each month or each year, and also what they sold. So I want to come on and start doing that as well because business for me, I'm just trying to get comfortable in my got me confused here. So business is really been like picking up, and so because of that, I want to be able to share my success with people. So yeah, I hope you guys can be excited. Share this out. Invite people to this live broadcast, and just getting a couple things set here. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right into it. I'm going to share my screen. If you see me looking this way, it's because I'm looking at my big computer screen, because looking in front of me is too small for my eyes. So just bear with me in the position that I have it in. It can be a little bit difficult. I move it. There we go. Sorry about that. Move it this way so I don't have to look too far. All right. So let me see. Okay, we're good. All right. So I'm going to share my screen, and we are going to go to here. So this is basically my presentation that I started. I haven't done this in a while. I just got to give it a minute and click present. And there we are. So just want to thank you guys for joining us. And I'm going to hide that little bar there. thank you for joining us. And I just really, like I said, I'm really inspired to share my what I sold each month. So I'm not like making thousands of dollars a week. I'm not there yet, but I'm starting to get a lot of sales, and so business is starting to really pick up for me. So yeah, well, let's get started. It says what sold in the last 2 months on Poshmark. So we're first going to take a look. So what I normally do is I would do 1 month at a time. So the first Monday of February is going to be what I sold last month for January. So stay tuned. It's going to be, these videos are going to be the first Monday of every month, what I sold last month. So just keep an eye out for that. And I will have, hopefully in a week advance, I can have this video scheduled with the thumbnail, and that way you guys can know what's going on when I'm going live. So right now we're going to look at November, because here's the thing. When I started picking up sales, I mean, August was no sales. September was like maybe like $8. October was like pretty much like maybe $20 or whatever, meant less. I can't remember what I made in October, but November is when sales started to pick up more for me. And so that's why I want to cover both months. I don't want to just cover last month, which is December 2024. I also want to do November as well. So let's get into it. I'm going to show you the photos of what I sold, what they went for. I'm going to talk about the sell-through rate, like to see how long the items have been selling for, or sorry, how long they've been listed for before they actually sold. And before I get into it, I have like a sales report. So I have like the inventory number, the name, the sold at price, or sorry, sold, check mark the sold, listed price, sold at price, profit, earner, because I do have a few people that are doing consignment with me. And then I have the date of the sale. And then of course I have like a paid, so I can like write paid, I can check that off. But I do want to add a sell-through rate column, and that way I will know for each item that, hey, look, this took this long, this took this long. And that's going to give me an idea for future reference that, you know what, maybe the I don't know, let's just something that's not as interesting, like say George. I mean, I know George for some people is popular on Poshmark, but it's nothing compared to like Aritzia or what is the other one that I've been selling? I can't even think of it, but I'm not gonna try. But something like Levi or Adidas, anything that's like more popular like that is obviously going to sell faster. Chanel. It's at the top of my tongue right now. Anthropologie. Yes, there it is. So like bigger brands like that have a faster selling rate. So I want to keep an eye on how long I listed. I do have a color scheme, and I also put the date on my little like price tags for when they were listed. And that way I can see that when the item sells, I can see the date that it was listed, and I can see, oh wow, that just went like up a couple of hours ago and it sold. That actually happened to me when I listed my this was like last year, 1 year ago, this month, January. I listed a Chanel shirt, and I had it like up for 5 minutes and it sold. So I didn't really see much of the light of day on Poshmark, because like that was like a really big brand, right? And so for something like George, might not sell very well, or Lily Morgan, or Ardene's. I know some stuff are not selling as fast as like Ardene's. So it just really depends. And not only that, but it doesn't just always, some of the low brands can have really nice quality stuff. So it really depends on what I choose to sell. But that's going to give me an idea like, maybe George is not something that I want to invest in adding into my Posh Closet, because it has a slow sell-through rate. So that's kind of why I'm going to be adding that into my sales report, So I will know for future reference what sells quickly, what takes forever, and so on. So let's start with our November 2024. So right here you have a Clio extra large, and this is, I don't know if I can, whoops. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I wonder. Oh, I can. Okay. I don't really know what's going on. Anyway, oh, I see what happened. All right. We'll not worry about that. So, oh, I don't like this. How do I get out of this Zoom? No, wait. Okay, see, I did something. Now it's throwing me completely off. Okay, there, that's better. All right, so on November 8th, I sold this Clio sequins shirt. So I actually had this actually, I'm surprised because I know that Clio is a fairly good brand. I mean, it's not big like Anthropologie or Levi or Lululemon maybe, but I know that Clio is a big brand. However, for some reason it took over 2 years to actually sell this. So I do have some Clio, I have a lot of Clio items. So, I mean, I'm just I just gotten a whole bunch more. So I'm just going to monitor the rate of the Clio brand. I mean, unless it's like really, really fancy, it might sell faster. I mean, in my mind, this Clio shirt with the sequins, gold sequins, I mean, I find that fancy, but it's just a simple shirt with sequins. What I mean by fancy is like a nice jacket, a nice coat, a nice fancy dress with sequins, something that in that brand, like that in that brand. Oh my gosh, sorry, something like that in the Clio brand probably will sell a lot faster than just a simple shirt with sequins on it. So, so it did take a while. The whole point is it did sell. The question is do I want to add a brand in my closet that's going to take so long to sell? And I'm going to give you a quick tip before I move on, but also too, you want to make sure that when you are doing your listings, just a little posh tip, when you're doing your listings, you want to make sure that you have a neat background, which I have here. But a lot of people like to see right now what this is it's a flat lay. So what people like to see is the clothes on a person, or at least the mannequin. I mean, it's good to like hang them up as well and just hang it on the wall or the back of a door. But make sure you take out the background so that's nice and clear, white or whatever background color that you choose. Don't go with any harsh backgrounds. Go with like a matching background. And most things, white is probably a better background color to choose. So yeah, so that one sold on November 8th, 2024. So sold at $9. And then my SKU number is basically my inventory number. So I have like an alphabetical inventory number. This was inspired after watching videos on YouTube when I first got started too, of people showing me like their shells and they have them alphabetical and they got the numbers in there so that way you can find them. So mine are pretty similar. They're all like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way to Z, alphabetical for shelves. And then I have a number system as well because I needed more space and so on. So that's kind of this right here is just my inventory number. And then, of course, out of this sale, I've made $5. Now, I don't remember the price that I listed this for. I think I listed this for at least $20, $25. And to be honest, I would have liked to have at least made $10 or $12 for this one. But because it sat in there for so long, I'm like, I'm going to raise the price down. So basically what I do is that there's things that were sitting in there for like a year or especially 2 years, I will raise the price down, because if it's not selling, like people are going to go to lower prices and sales. And that's really the only time that I choose to bring the prices down that low, for like certain things if they've been sitting there for like ever. So there's that one. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on here. It's showing. It's showing a volume bar in here. But you know what? I'm just not going to get distracted, because I don't want to get distracted. I just want to stay on topic with this video, but for some reason, Alexa, disconnect my laptop.
Now disconnected from laptop 6QLB.
Maybe it'll disappear after that. Maybe not. We're just going to ignore it because I don't want to be distracted. So let's move on. Now, November 10th, I sold the 725 original. Now, in my opinion, as you look at the photo here, I have the photo here, but I like to have the bigger photo here. As you can see, the bigger photo, this is more, I don't know what you guys think about this style. It can be pretty. I guess it just depends on what everybody likes. It could be like a younger person, but it could also be like an older person. So it really just depends. And I never really see a lot of 725 originals on Poshmark. So there's probably like older brands. So quite likely maybe older brands don't sell as fast, or maybe this is just not a very good quality shirt, or maybe it's just not as nice to people. I had it at one time and I only wear it for a little while. To me, it looked like old lady style, but that's my opinion. So, I've had this for quite a while as well, like over 2 years. So it did take a while, but I did sell it for $10 and I got a $6.05 earning from that. And now we have ACX Women's size large muscle shirt. And so I think that ACX is fairly like somewhat popular, especially like sports tops, muscle tops, tank tops, whatever. So anyway, I sold that for $8 and I made $4 off of that, which is, I will say it's better than nothing, right? And then we have November 21st. These ones, I'm trying to think of when I listed these ones. It wasn't very long ago. I'm going to say either September or October. I'm actually going to say October because I think they actually got listed in October. So I need to make a note to self that the Fess Up boots, and I don't know if it's because of the brand that is so popular or if it's just because we were getting into fall and women like knee-high boots. Because I know just the boots alone are popular. But I think also the Fess Up boots, I don't know, maybe the brand is popular too. So just going to put Fess Up. High heel. I'm just making a little note for myself. I'm just going to put, I'm just going to put at fast sell-through rate. So I'm just going to put I don't know what I'm doing. I'm all over the place right now. I'm just going to put FSR, fast sell-through rate. So that way I will know that it's either one or both or the other. It's either the knee-high boots that are just simply popular, or the Fess Up brand is popular, or both. So I got that note for myself. So these ones were a consignment item. So they went for $30, and then the earnings for this one was $24. So what I'm doing is I'm taking about half or maybe a little bit less than half of the earnings from those who are doing consignment with me. So anyway, those sold. The only thing is I forgot to take the big picture of the boots. So, and I can't zoom in. So move on to the next one. November 24th, we have these vintage 90s bangle bracelets. And they're like kind of like metal. Very nice purple pinkish color. And this one, I mean, a lot of times when I first started Poshmark, a lot of the times the only type of orders that came in were, well, actually not always, not always, but the first time when I started Poshmark was November 15th, 2022. I got my first sale in January 5th, 2023. And it was a Christmas reindeer shirt. And the lady asked me what the pit to pit was. I just started Poshmark. I didn't know what pit to pit was. I didn't know that measurements were needed. So I'm like, I don't want to ask her because maybe she might think I'm stupid and might not want to order from me. Like, that was just my thinking. But I just kind of thought about it and thinking, maybe that's your underpits. And then I looked it up on Google and lo and behold. So yeah, so that was the first time that I got a straight out order. And then most of the time when I got orders, it was all mostly like offers. Either I sent them an offer or they sent me an offer or they counter offered. But lately I've been getting a lot of straight out, flat out orders. They just place the order at whatever the price that I had it listed. And, it's nice to get those too. So this one was like a straight buyout for $33. So I got $26.40 from that one. And then we have these Route 66 boots. And so as I was going through the photos and taking the screenshots, I thought instead of squaring this off right here, this first photo, I thought I would just keep this, and then I can show you the sold button right there, or little sold sign. And so this one was November 28th. $20 was the selling price. I think the listing price was a little bit higher, but of course, if you don't know about Poshmark, they take 16. Sorry, no, my bad. I'm thinking about my earning price right here. So they take off 20%. So therefore, I got $16 from that. And you know what? I don't know what people's opinions are. I don't know what people think. But in my opinion, I really like this deal with Poshmark. Because, like, if I want to sell on Amazon, I think I'm paying like $30 a month. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what if I miss my payment? Because sometimes, like, finances are like, they build up sometimes. And you're not able to pay everything every month. And I'm like, I was worried, like, if I cannot pay the 35 whatever dollars for Amazon, then I can't sell anything. And, I thought I'm not interested in games like that. So I'm really thankful for Poshmark. I don't mind giving them 20% because at least they're not charging us a month to use their service to list for free. So there's that one. And then so we have our November total sales are at $81.55. So we're going to just go right into December here. So December, we have our first item that sold on December 2nd, which was these Hush Puppies. So you can see the listing photos here with the sold sign. So these went for $20, and my earnings for that was obviously $16. So it's been really good. Now, mind you, some of these orders, they came in either before or just after the Canada Post strike. So I was a little bit stressed out about that. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have 6 orders here, sitting here, just sitting there looking pretty with nowhere to go. And I'm like, my biggest fear was, oh my gosh, people are going to start canceling their orders. I'm going to lose out on money. I had $100 in there. And then, like, and then more sales came in. So basically, in the last couple of months, I made just like, and then including some of the sales that came in this month, I made like over $200, maybe a little more. So, but yeah, so thankfully they were forced back to work, and I was able to get my orders out, and nobody canceled. I know it happened to some other people, and I'm sorry that happens. It's a really, really tough thing to go through, especially when you have like orders. You know what I mean? So anyway, let's move on to the next one. So this one was a bundle of stuff. Now, if you look at these, the only ones, if you look at these little like stars, those things that look like the little Walmart roll back the price thing, these are actually my Rego items. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 5 Rego items. And what I mean by Rego is basically just items that are going to go into the death pile after it's 6 months after being put in the Rego. So this is why I can't remember. Oh yeah, they all sold for $15. And then of course at the top you have a pair of earrings. So I was so desperate to get most of the Rego items sold so they don't have to go to the death pile. So I just gave them all to her for $15, and it brought me in $11. So we have our Victorian green gemstone earrings, and then we have a Judy, I'm not really good at pronouncing that name. We have green envelope, we have Glitz, Ardeen's, and we also have Candy Couture. So these are just kind of like not very good quality, sloppy clothes. So, and they weren't selling. Like they've been listed for either over or almost 2 years. So they've been there for like ever. So it's like, basically what I've done was I started myself a 6-month routine. So it's like twice a year. I have like a 6-month January to July Rego routine. So I have in my dining room, I have a shelf that has all of the, like there's different clothes and baskets, and each of them on one shelf, there are just baskets that needs to be listed. So my goal is to do one basket a day. And then on the other shelf where my printer is, there are the top 2 shelves have like things to be listed and be pressed. But the bottom 4 are like reg out baskets. Oh my goodness. I'm doing terrible. I think I'm nervous, you guys. I haven't done these videos in a while, so just be patient with me. Anyway, so what I've done is I have a reg out process that I do. So because we just started a new year, we have January to June. So anything that's in my inventory that has not sold either in the past 6 months or in the past year, they're going to get moved to the reg out bins, and they have 6 months to sell, or they're going to go in the death pile. So what I either do is I will either go shopping for myself, or I will give to the homeless, or I will donate at a thrift store, or if they're really good, which really good stuff do not usually go into the death pile. But if they are, I can actually sell them to Plato's Closet and get some money for that. So that's what I do. So most of these are just reg outs. So that's pretty good. And then this one is also a consignment. As you can see, it's got the person's name there. So this is a beautiful Red Fox fur leather tote bag. Very pretty. So this one was listed for, I think it was listed for like $40 to $50. And then now this was through a friend. That friendship is no longer there anymore. Just saying. I'm not going to get into the story, but I'm still at the moment willing to sell her stuff. She don't have a lot of stuff. And then, so anyway, this sold. And so it has her name. Basically, what I do is when I'm listing stuff, I will put the inventory number. So this is ACC question mark. So basically ACC is my accessory inventory. Okay. And then I'll have a number beside it, but I just threw it in there. And when I listed this thing, I just threw it in the accessory bin and didn't really give it a number. So that's why it says ACC question mark. But before that, it shows the person's name. So that way I will know that, you know what, this item's not mine and the money is not mine. It goes to that person right there. So therefore, she made $16. Considering that we've not been friends for a while, I'm not in contact with her for personal reasons, disrespect, and stuff like that. But for now, I'm willing to sell her stuff. But there's no communication, so I thought I'm gonna have to lower some of them, or they're just gonna sit there. So there's that one. And then we have December 23rd. This is the Denier. I'm not really quite sure how to pronounce this one. I think it's either Denier or Danier. I'm not quite sure. Genuine leather, purse, leopard, I don't know if that's leopard, but anyway, animal print. I feel like I'm going to sneeze. Animal print, and this one sold for $20. Now, this is also a consignment with a different person. The only problem is I forgot to put her name in here. So put the, I usually put their name beside the SKU number, aka inventory number. So anyway, for this order, she made $16. Give me a second. I'm sure over time doing this, I'll probably get better. But my voice also goes raspy. So maybe it's just a little bit of nerves. And I do videos all the time, but live, I think it's a little bit more scarier. I think I'm more comfortable doing lives on Facebook with people that I know compared to YouTube, open to a whole world. So I think I'm a little bit nervous right now. And so just give me some grace, okay? Give me some grace. Give the girls some grace. All right. So next we have this one. As you can see, I'm my own model. So this is Gap Women's white lace skirt. So this one was sold on December 24th, just the day before Christmas. Yay. And then, so I sold it for $12. It's been sitting about over a year. So, I mean, I'm always I've been blessed for getting friends and family and people from church to donate their clothes to me. So that's very nice of them. And I've been getting a lot of donations coming in every little while. So and not only that, but I'm just really been trying to step up my game, because when I first started this business, I was just taking anything. And that was my goal. I did not want to be fussy. I wanted to just start with humble beginnings and just take whatever I got and just accept that. And of course, a very quick story before we move on. I started my business. I founded my business, Celestial Fashion Thrifts. I founded that in July of 2022. And then I did all the work. I went through my own wardrobe. I have tons of clothes all the time. So I started with my own wardrobe, got rid of stuff that I don't wear, and I ordered some price tags. I ordered a pricing gun on Amazon. So that was the first thing that I did. And then I started working on all of the stuff, clothing, shoes, basically women's clothing and accessories. And so I started working on my stuff, pricing them, all of that stuff. And then I was trying to sell on Facebook, but that was not going anywhere. And in fact, I was getting super frustrated. not only was I getting frustrated, but I was also a little bit hurt because I've been advertising since July, since I started this business in 2022. So for a month, and people were seeing it, but they did not come to my live grand opening. So, you just got to start somewhere, right? And so, anyways, long story short, excuse me, I'm a little bit congested right now. Long story short, someone from church suggested that I go on Poshmark, and like sometimes when somebody mentions something that we've never heard of before, we're going to be skeptical. So I started like checking YouTube videos out, just kind of looking into it on the website and finding out about shipping and people paying with their cards. I was like impressed because if I ship directly, it's going to be like $40 for a $5 item. So, the Lord's really provided for me. And like I said at the very beginning, I started with my own clothing. And even with people giving me donations, I was like, I'm starting humble beginnings, and I'm just going to take whatever I get. And so therefore, some stuff were not really good branded. So then as I grew, Alexa, stop. As I grew, Alexa, stop. Sorry, my Alexa's going off. As I grew and learned more about Poshmark as I was selling, I learned about brands and that, like there's certain brands that sell better. So, so this one was been probably like over a year. So I sold it for $12. I'm pretty sure this was an offer as well. So sold for $12 and earned $8.05. Just gonna grab a drink. I don't know. I'm thinking I should have grabbed some water because I'm drinking hot apple cider, and I think that is causing stuff in my throat. So I should have just grabbed water. But anyway, so next we have Suzy Sheer. I find that like some Suzy Sheer items can be really popular. It just depends on the quality and the style. But I'm finding that for me anyway, the Suzy Sheer brand in my closet, the sell-through rate is slow. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to give up on listing Suzy Sheer, at least for now. I just want to go to quality stuff, right? So anyway, this is like a pretty gray shirt that's got like a wolf on it. So this one went for $11. So therefore I made $7 in earnings. And then we have one more for December 29th. These ones were not up there for very long. I think I listed these pants in the summertime this year or last year, 2024. So I can't remember how these sold. I know it wasn't a straight buyout. Either I made the offer or they made the offer. So, but I'm like, let's just get things moving. So $4 was fine for me. So those are the orders for what I sold for the last 2 months. And let's look at our December total. So for December of this past year, 2024, my total sales were $78.20, which I'm going to tell you, some of you guys will think, well, that's not very much. That's not very exciting. Well, it is for me because July, I think I made like $8. Whoop-dee, right? Like I might be able to buy a coffee for $8, but not very much. Maybe a couple coffees, a coffee and a donut. Who knows? But anyway, like $70, $80 is a good start. So, but I will tell you before I sign off, this time last year, this is when I sold the Anthropologie jacket. Every year I have a sales report year in review. I'll talk about like my failures and lessons. I'll talk about my goals. And this year I'm going to be talking about like how I plan to thrive in 2025. I'm just going to exit out of that. Oops. I need to find this. So then I'll finish what I was saying. So this year I'm going to be talking about how I plan to thrive in 2025. So that is coming up next Monday. So stay tuned. I believe the time for that is 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure that you go to my channel, look for that upcoming thumbnail, and just click notify me. And that way, if you want to watch that and just see how I did in this past year, then you can just click notify me. And then that way, when I go live, you're going to get a notification that I'm live. Okay, so that is pretty much it. But I was going to say something and I forgot now. It's terrible, isn't it? So it was really, oh yeah, that's right. So yeah, so next Monday, because we're already Monday. Next Monday, I'm going to come live at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm going to do a year in review. And that's basically how much I made, how much money I made each month. And basically adding all of that up to find out how much I made for the entire year. Then I'm going to be talking about my failures and lessons that I've learned over the past year. And I'll give you one really quick sneak peek. One of the failures and lessons that I've learned was whether it was discouragement with business or faith or just life in general. Uh-oh, my battery. No. I got to plug my battery in really quickly, you guys, or we're not going to have we're not going to be able to finish this video. So just bear with me very quickly. Plug that in. Okay. I'm going to plug this in really quickly so my live don't get cut. I guess there goes that light. Shoot. Hang on a second. Maybe not. All right, it's all good. You guys can still see me. Oh shoot. Sorry about that, guys. All right, anyway, we're pretty much done. So, but yeah, I was going to give you a really quick, I was going to give you guys a really quick example of what I learned last year, just to get you guys super excited for next week when I do my year in review. But one of the things that I failed in doing this was allowing discouragement to take over me. And what I mean is that when I get discouraged about something, pretty much anything, I'm down. I'm down for usually a week, 3 or 4 days, or sometimes, depending, 2 weeks, and my habit is to sleep. So I know that I've been through a lot in this past year, a lot of ups and downs. I lost my cat in June. I lost a friend that pretty much stabbed me in the back. I've had to even leave my church for a while. So now I'm going to 2 churches. I'm not going to say what area it is, but I was involved in part of a ministry in church, and after I came back to that church, after taking a step back from this person, I asked to go back, and they said to wait. And there's a bit of a attitude thing there, and so I just decided to join this ministry at the other church that I'm going to. So I just don't want to give anything away, because you never know who could find this video. And I'm not saying this, I'm not doing this to be mean to them. I'm just saying that that's my discovery. There's been a lot of ups and downs in 2024. And so what I've learned by allowing discouragement to keep me down is that you lose out. You lose out on sales. You lose out on the joys of life. You lose out on staying on top and basically any area of your life. So that's all I'm going to share with you right now. I do not know why my microphone is being this way, but it is. But anyway, and I'm going to be talking about next week as well and my year in review. I'm going to talk about my goals for 2025. I'm going to be talking about my dreams and vision. And I'm also going to be talking about how I'm going to planning on thriving. How am I going to thrive in 2025? Because this past year, 2024, I think I've only been trying to survive, and I wasn't thriving. I was just surviving. So this year, and that was actually off of a really good church message from yesterday about thriving. So I'm applying this to all of my life and definitely also my business life as well. So come and join me next week, next Monday at 11. We're going to be talking about my year in review, what I earned each month and what I earned altogether last year, and then all of that other good stuff. So yeah, you guys have a good day. I'm going to give a 30-second countdown, and I'll talk to you soon. See you next time.